Welcome Aquarius and Aquarius cross-watchers to your singles and new love reading for February 2023. So thanks for stopping by my channel today. I'm happy to have you here. Whoops. I hope you guys have had a great week. Okay. Sorry. So we're going to do where you are, where you're headed, and what's being hidden from you. And then we're going to use a different deck for the next love interest, good or bad, for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And that'll be time-stamped in the description box below. So, okay. And we're going to do what's hidden here. It's being hidden from Aquarius. So we have the Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So Aquarius, okay. I feel like it just feels a little bit like there is someone that is waiting for you. Excuse me. I feel like they are assuming that you're going to be rushing towards them. And I actually feel that you are not really interested in pursuing anything with them. I feel like you've cut them out or cut them off. And I feel like to you, it's actually almost like I want to say that it's a distant memory, but it's not quite. You know what I mean? Or like whenever you wanted to pursue something with them, that may be, how do I say this? Maybe at one point you wanted something with them, or maybe you had something with them, but I don't really see you wanting that anymore. But I feel like here's this person over here, and they just seem to think that if they wait long enough, you'll come back around. I do feel that you want to have at least one more conversation with this person. I feel like you want some freaking justification for what happened here. But I'm definitely feeling that your heart is pretty closed to this person. So we're going to actually get a clarifier on this Page of Wands here. Yeah, if this person, they may be sending you like energetic signals to, come talk to them, come hither sort of thing. And I actually feel like they're not even reaching you. It's almost like they're just bouncing off your energy because you're not focused on this. You're not looking at it. It's almost like if this person thinks you're going to chase somebody, they must be out of their freaking mind because that's not your... I almost want to say, like, that's not your bag, baby. I don't actually usually say that, so I'm a little embarrassed that I said it. Excuse me. But I'm just kind of seeing that whatever this person is, it's like you'd like to know what happened. But it's not like, not knowing that is going to destroy your day, your week, or your month, or whatever, right? So this Page of Wands, I'm just wondering which deck we're going to use. Can we get a clarifier on this Page of Wands? Ten of Cups. The World at the bottom of the deck. So, Aquarius. My beautiful Aquarius. I feel that it's like either someone comes in that's younger than you, that it's like they seem to be very excitable, if that makes sense. It's like this is the kind of person that it's like even if you're in a bad mood, they seem to be so freaking cheery and so much fun and so happy that you kind of can't help but smile. It's almost like, and I'm not saying this person is a dog, okay? But if you've ever had a new puppy, if you've ever been around a new puppy and you've come home and you're tired and you're exhausted and you don't want a human anymore that day, and you sit down and the puppy comes over and they're jumping around and they're having fun and they're being freaking adorable, it's like you kind of can't help but be drawn into that happy energy. And I feel like that's where you're headed. I almost want to say despite your best efforts, but it's not like you're actively fighting it. I feel like you just have a lot on your mind and you're going through whatever the heck this is with this person that wants to. It's almost like they want you to chase them, but then if you did, which I'm not saying you will, but if you did, I feel like they would still be really detached, still want you to kind of fawn over them. Excuse me. So it's like not only would you be doing all of the work to get it going or to kind of open the door, but I feel like they would want that for a while. You know what I mean? It's like they need a lot of um, I feel like this person needs a lot of attention. They may not be needy down the road, but I feel like initially they are very, like for them to get into a relationship, they have to be like numero uno in your life. Which is obviously you're not. Like I don't see you wanting anything with this person. Excuse me. If anything, I'm seeing that you're actually pretty annoyed with them. So I'm just going to take a drink of my coffee here. And then there's this, right? Here is this, like, this kind of happy character that seems to be a lot of fun. And it's not that they haven't had difficult experiences, so they're just, naively popping around, assuming life is going to be great. I actually feel like it's just this person's disposition. They're just a happy person. I mean, there's those people that, like, they just seem to be happy and cheerful all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just who they are. It's not how they feel, if that makes sense. I feel like this is the kind of person that is. And I feel like there's something about the interaction with this person, because they may or may not be a romantic sort of thing, right? Whatever role this person plays in your life, I feel like they actually have you look, or because of the connection with them, you start to look at the world differently. I feel like you look at it like a lot of people, the things that most people are upset about it, I feel like you look at it like they're making a mountain out of a molehill here. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody wants to complain that like the frosting is the wrong flavor on their cake or something, it's just like that kind of stuff doesn't matter. Maybe it didn't, it's like maybe it annoyed you before, but I feel like now you understand why it was so annoying to you. I feel like you look at things as like people get really upset about stuff that like absolutely has no real impact on anything. And I feel like there's something about this person. It's like they seem like they're somebody that would really never take anything for granted because they're just genuinely happy inside. So what's being hidden from you? We have the Eight of Cups, funnily enough, combined with the Fool. The Eight of Cups talks about a situation ending because you're walking away from it. You might not want to hear this. Sometimes when people tell me things are a blessing in disguise, I want to, tell them what they can do with their prolific statement, right? But I'm about to say it, so I'm sorry. I feel like there is something that you had to walk away from that you really freaking didn't want to. And I feel like once you are, over the pain of having lost it, I feel like you see how having that in your life would have been so restrictive that you wouldn't have been able to live the way that you're living. It's almost like hold on for a second. I feel like you walked away from something that you were kind of like, oh, you know what? I'm not sure if I should have walked away from that. Should I have done that? What should I have? I feel like, okay, hang on for a second because I'm getting a couple. I'm just going to sit with the cards for a sec if that's all right. I'm feeling that somebody's coming back. I'm sorry. I know that really drives people crazy sometimes. I feel like this is It'll be a surprise for sure. I feel like it's someone that you really don't expect. I feel like it's someone that you aren't really expecting much to happen with when they do come back. I feel like this is someone that has, I want to say they've cut the ties that bind, but I actually feel like somebody left them. And I feel like at the time, you may have identified more with the person. Let's say, for example, the two of you were couple friends. And it's like, actually, now both of you are single. For whatever reason, you're single, and this person is single because their partner left them. And I feel like, obviously, it may not have felt very good at the time. This person, it's almost like they feel they can pursue all of the things they really weren't ever able to do. That doesn't mean that this one over here was controlling. It just may mean that they were putting into a relationship that wasn't working for either party. So it took a lot out of them, right? So it's like they didn't have enough left over at the end of the day to pursue their dreams. And I feel like there seems to be something about this person that it's almost like if the two of you have had similar life experiences or you've both gone through a divorce or something recently, that may not be the actual situation, but it's just the energetics of it. I actually feel like you're kind of in this almost like reserved business, like not putting up with anyone's garbage energy. And this one over here, it's like they seem to have this almost like this faith in, I don't think you don't have faith in life, but it's like they seem to have this optimism that you feel you haven't tapped into, or like why is this person so freaking happy? And I feel like from their perspective, this may not be how you see it, but it's that they decided, it's like they let go of what they wanted their life to be. And I feel like it was incredibly, incredibly painful for them. It's like it was the death of a dream. And I feel like when they surrendered to that, because it's like it had already happened, I feel like when they surrendered to that, they seemed to go through this really incredible transformation. And I feel like this optimism that they have is something that it's like you may have a little bit of contempt for it at first. That doesn't mean that you're being crappy to somebody. It's almost like you kind of might think it's fake at first. But I feel like the more you get to know this person, I feel like the more you realize that that's just how they cope with things. It's like they found a way to choose to live on the optimistic, the bright side of life. They find the silver lining in every cloud, and that's what they focus on. I feel like this is somebody that has been knocked down several times, and every time they get up, they dust themselves off and they keep going. And I feel like you may actually be surprised how determined this person is. At times they might come off as like a little bit flighty, a little bit like head in the clouds sort of energy. But it's one of those people where it's like they seem really optimistic, borderline naive, maybe even a little bit foolish. But it's like you get to know them better and you're like, holy crap, this person's awesome. It's that kind of a feeling, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's not that they're going to come in and pretend that, let's say, for example, you lost your job at work, or, you're experiencing a breakup. This person is going to come in and they're going to find the golden nugget in there. They're going to help you focus on that. It's almost like this person will be like, well, now you have an opportunity. Do you want to stay in the same field? Do you not? Where do you want to work? And it's like, they're going to help. Like if they see a job ad, they're going to send it to you. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the kind of person that they see opportunities in the world. And if the people around them maybe don't see those at first, or it's like, or they're not able to focus on that initially, this person shows them how to. And it's not because they're doing it because they want to teach them a lesson or blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's just how they live. So I feel like this, hold on for a second. for some of you, this might not resonate for everybody. Excuse me. This may be a second chance with this person. And now that's not to say that you even want it, okay? Excuse me. That doesn't mean necessarily that you want it. But I do feel that if this was a missed opportunity at one point in time, that this person is kind of marching into your world, and if you want it, you'll, like, obviously you'll have to choose that for yourself. I do kind of feel like if you hold on for a second, this person won't stick around forever. If it's almost like they'll come in, not that they won't stick around forever if the two of you are in a relationship. It's more they'll come in, and if you kind of give them the cold shoulder, or you like that kind of thing, it's like they're just going to keep going, because this person doesn't stay where they're not wanted. They don't stay where they're not celebrated. They don't stay where the vibe is off. So I feel like if you want this person, which you may not, it actually feels like you may have to step outside your comfort zone. It's like you'll have to choose to see things from a different perspective. It doesn't mean that you want to skip around being happy all the time if you're going through a tough time, right? But it's like, even if it's just from an intellectual standpoint, this person isn't going to be around people. And I'm not saying that you would, okay? But it's like this person will not stay around people that bring them down or make them look at the world in a different way, because it's like if this person looked at all of the negative, I feel like the cumulative weight of what's happened to them in their life would crush them. Or at least that's how they may have felt at one point. And so it's like now they just let stuff go. They cut it out. It's like they're just not going to let anything take them down. And I do feel to a certain extent that you really respect that. It's going to be up to you if it's something that you want to explore further with them. So, Aquarius, I'm just going to do a, sorry, 1 second here. The timestamp. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so for those of you with your Sun in Aquarius, who is the next love interest for Aquarius Sun? Oh, you're coming in hot and heavy, eh, Aquarius? Like, so we have the Lovers. Like, for goodness sake. That's kind of a big energy, right? Like, there's somebody that it's like you're attracted to, you seem to be drawn to them, but I feel like you might ignore them initially. And I feel like you are, hold on for a second, whoops. I want to say, strangely enough, I feel like you might be you might kind of dismiss this person. Sorry, I'm trying to get the glare off the card, but it's not working. I feel like you might actually, I want to say be dismissive, but it's not a rude sort of energy, right? It's like you might kind of initially dismiss this person because they seem to be almost like a little too naive for your taste. You know what I mean? It's like there's something here about them that seems a little too, they believe in the world around them just a little too much. I feel like you might see it as a flaw, right? It's like people need to see the world as it is. Of course, be optimistic, right? But it's like you still have to be grounded in reality. I do feel to a certain extent that this person, they seem to be quite fixated on their mate, their one, their person. And I feel like they are looking for that in everyone they meet. You know what I mean? It's like they're looking for their one true love. And I feel like there's something about the way that they kind of approach that I actually feel like it really rubs you the wrong way. So we're going to get one card for what you find positive about this person and what you find, challenging. Positive. Hold on for a second. And what would be challenging? What would be the most challenging for Aquarius? 10 of Cups again. I don't know what's going on with you. So I feel like you might see this person as somebody that is, on the positive aspect, I feel like they might have kind of like turned their life around or changed things around for themselves. I feel like it's like they're actually not afraid to go after what they want. You know what I mean? For example, if this is they seem to kind of do things that other people wouldn't really have I want to say like the nerve to do. For example, if they are, and I'm just saying this because it's kind of the example that I'm using, okay? In my generation, it wasn't very often that a female would ask a male out. It just kind of wasn't the thing, right? And it's like this person does that. They don't care. Like if they see something, they want it, they're going to go for it. They don't play around with all of that. It's like this is not the kind of person that's going to sit and pine away for somebody for years and hope that someone comes around and blah, blah, blah. It's like they see it, they go for it, doesn't work out, they turn around, they keep going. It's almost like they seem to have this will or this drive. There's something about them that it's almost like, can anything truly get them down? So I'm just going to have a drink of my coffee here. Because I feel like from your perspective, it's almost like the most annoying thing about them to you is it's almost like you may feel like they are chasing an ideal of happiness that doesn't exist. To them, it does. And they're actually already living in it. To them, they're just looking for the icing on the cake now. You may not see it that way. I feel like this person seems to really think about life in a different way than a lot of people. And I know that you guys are really open-minded and that you can usually see things from, unusual angles. It just feels like it's the attitude of somebody that's never been hurt before coming from someone who has. Who's been abandoned, who's been rejected, who's been this, who's been that. And I feel like part of your suspicion about the authenticity of this person's feelings actually seems to be coming from a place of not really understanding how they can kind of have that like reckless abandon when it comes to relationships when they have been hurt before. And I feel like you'll see the truth about them to the extent that you allow yourself to. So it's almost like as much as you want to open your mind to the truth about this person, is as much truth as you'll see. And so let me flesh that out a little bit. Aquarius, I feel like there might be something hard to see about this person. It's almost like this may not be the actual situation, but it's kind of the energetics of it. It's like maybe they've been through really terrible stuff, where they've had to lose absolutely everything. It's almost the energy of someone that has had a near-death experience and they have developed a completely different approach on life because they came so close to losing theirs. So it's like they just look at things differently. They know the sun is going to rise tomorrow. excuse me, and in that they don't let themselves get caught up in the drama and the BS. It's like if someone's talking about them, this person's gonna be like, oh yeah, thanks, okay. And they don't care. They don't care if someone's talking about them. They don't care if someone is this or that, or if somebody feels a certain type of way. It's like someone could walk right up to this person and be like, I hate your freaking guts. And they'd be like, okay, not sure why you told me, but all right, that's fine. And it doesn't affect who they are, how they think, how they feel, how they move. It's almost like they have this impenetrable force when it comes to that sort of thing. I do feel that there's someone that can't really take a compliment, though. I feel like you actually may see a crap ton of defensiveness coming from this person when people are kind. It's like they kind of don't know what to do with a compliment. It makes them, it's almost like they don't know how to just accept a compliment. They have to find a way to then turn around and compliment the person back, right? It's like they kind of can't let it go. So who is the, so I'm just going to do the timestamp here. 1 second, guys. Okay. So for those of you with a moon in Aquarius, like, enter expletive here. So we have the Emperor, but it's reversed. So like, ugh. The Emperor reversed is someone that is, excuse me, today I'm kind of getting like borderline. Like I'm surprised it isn't the Devil card sort of energy or a Tower card, because I feel like this person is actually somebody that is, it's like they see you and they see all sorts of ways to take advantage of you. And I actually feel like this person is about to get a really jolting wake-up call, because I feel like if you're in this energy, in the Hierophant energy, I actually feel like this person is going to come in thinking that they're going to pull a fast one on you. They're going to take advantage of you. You're going to be an easy take, and like, no, that's not what's going to happen. I feel like you are actually able to outsmart this person. And it's because you see their duplicity before they're able to actually act on it. I feel like this is somebody that wants to come in and make you feel bad about who you are. It's like this is the kind of person that they're going to come in and make people feel bad about who they are, and then somehow put themselves in a position where in order for that person to feel good again, now this Emperor reversed is indispensable to them. And I feel like you're looking at them like, it's almost this energy of you, Aquarius, saying to this person, like, I don't know what game you're playing, but it's not going to work on me. And it really doesn't, because it's like this person might use a couple of different tactics to get to you. They might use a couple of, it's like this is the kind of person that would come in and use that where they just kind of throw a bunch of negative comments your way. And like trying to put you in a place where you kind of need their approval or their, like, it's not affirmation, where you need their approval, I guess is the word, or their acceptance of what you're doing. And it's like this person overestimates their importance in your life hard. You know what I mean? It's like they want to come in and start playing these games, and you're looking at them like, it's almost this energy of you looking at them being like, I don't even know you. I don't know what you think you're going to do here, but you're just not important enough in my life for me to care what it is that you think. And it's not even that you're angry. It's just more annoying than anything. It's like annoying background noise when you are wanting some peace and quiet. That's what it feels like. And so it's like, it's not like it's going to disturb your peace. Excuse me, but it is something that you will block out if it won't go away. And I feel like this person, it's like they might be that kind of real POS, right? That it's like, I shouldn't have said that. That was judgmental. I'm sorry. They seem like that kind of person that it's like, if you didn't get offended by their insults, it's like they then would call you stupid and act like maybe you didn't get them. Maybe their insults went over your head and you're looking at them like, oh my God, this is pathetic. I can't believe this person's still harping on this. I feel like you, doesn't really seem like you kind of get into the fighting pit with this person. It's almost like you really see it as no point. I feel like you see pretty clearly that it's like whether this person will tell you, go, or for example, let's say this person tells you to go left or right. You go left, they give you crap. You go right, they give you crap. It's like, it doesn't matter what you do, this person's going to be unkind. So it's like, you're not going to sit here and try to win with somebody that is setting you up to fail. And it's like, no matter, even if you have success, they're going to bitch about how you got it. They're going to complain about what you did to get there and that you must have been this and you must have been that and you must have got this and blah, blah, blah. And like, listen, dude, like this person, if they thought that they were going to come in and dominate you, I mean, I feel like they are sorely mistaken and they vastly overestimated the power that they were going to attain over you, because it almost kind of, if they keep doing it and they keep trying to come in and kind of own or control you, it actually feels like it gets to the place where it's people on the outside looking in look at it like, you know what, that's kind of sad now. It's like, maybe, for example, just the energetics of it, okay? Maybe at first whatever was going on between the two of you may have drawn a bit of attention, or people were looking at it, and I feel like as it continues down the road, people are looking at it like, oh my gosh, now the Emperor reversed. It's like what they're doing is just a little bit sad that they're still even doing it, because they're not getting anything out of it. And it's like they seem to think that if they just push and push and push and push and push, that you're gonna cave. And like, no, hard no, because it's like, once you're a fixed sign, right? Once you decide that you're going to do something or you're going to handle a situation in a certain type of way, it's like, that's now what's going to happen. So I feel like when you initially decide that you're not going to engage with this person, or you're not going to stoop to their level, or whatever it is, however you decide to handle this, excuse me, that one kind of snuck up on me. However it is that you choose to handle yourself, that's how you handle it. And I feel like because part of that is cutting this person out or off or whatever, they seem to fully expect that they're going to be able to re-engage with you, and that's not what happens. And I feel like they kind of make a bit of a, not in their mind, okay, but it's almost like you end up seeing them as someone that's inherently weak. Because it's like they kind of can't move on, they can't let go. I feel like you see them as somebody that is scratching and clawing for attention. It's like, whereas most people might think that this person is just a real jerk, you actually seem to see them as begging for attention. You know, it's like they reek of desperation, and you're not engaging with that. And I want to be clear, Aquarius, that's not the cards telling you don't engage with that. It's what I'm seeing is you're not going to be engaging with that kind of nonsense. So, oh, sorry, I'm just going to do the time stamp here. Ha. Okay. So, for those of you with an Aquarius Rising, so we have a Fool at the bottom of the deck with the Empress and the Nine of Swords. Okay, so I actually feel like you're going to have two choices here, or two options, if you will. And I feel like one person, excuse me, I feel like one person you actually seem to have a bit of a history with, but they're very guarded, they're very defensive. I feel like they were somebody that, it's like they may have needed someone to bring them out of their shell. And I feel like trying to help this person, to the extent that you did, I feel like it took a lot out of you, because it's like you tried to help this person up, you tried to help this person heal because you were on their team at the time, and they just kind of, it's like you're going to defend somebody so they can heal. And then once they've healed, they have to hold up their own shield. They got to pull their own weight, and they didn't. And I do want to say that I feel like it's actually because this person had a lot more pain than you realized. I almost want to say the amount of sorrow that they've carried, you may have bitten off a bit more than you could chew once the healing for them started. And that's, I want to be clear, Aquarius, it doesn't mean that you couldn't chew it necessarily or you couldn't hack it. I feel like it ended up being more than you wanted to give to them. And I feel like they still they still do think about you. They still want you. They still, but like this person is, I don't see them making a move towards you anytime soon. And I actually feel like either you have completely stopped thinking about this person, or it's like when they kind of come into your realm, and no, listen, it's what I'm about to say next. It's not to put this person down. It's kind of to capture the energy about how you feel about this person. It's almost like they're a bit of a sad sack. And it's not to knock them. I mean, obviously they have been through some stuff that most people can't even relate to. You know what I mean? Like they've been, it's almost the energy of somebody that was forced to live in the underworld, even though they didn't belong there, even though they didn't choose to be there. It's almost like somebody that was, oh my God, I hope this isn't the case because it's actually going to make me cry. It's like maybe they were trafficked or something like that. Like they've been through it. And you may have compassion for this person, of course. But I feel like you also are wise enough to realize that this person needs real help. They need like professional help, and it's not because there's something wrong with them, because they're a bad person or they're this or that. It's because they need someone who really understands this, who understands, psychological stuff on a deeper level to help them unravel it. Because it's like, this is not to say that you did, but if you did try to unravel it with this person, so it's like if you tried to do that now sort of thing, I actually feel like you seem to know that it would be unleashing, it's like Pandora's box. Once you open it, you wouldn't be able to close it, and I feel like it's almost like there would be so much going on, that I feel like you see it like you, even if you had the capacity to help them, you feel like you wouldn't be able to reach them. It's like there would be too much of a like tornado of all the things that have happened to them, and they're in the middle of that tornado, and it's like you wouldn't be able to reach them. I feel like you see them as almost getting lost in it. So I feel like you do have a lot of compassion for this person, but you don't want to send any mixed signals. So I feel like you're keeping your distance here. So then we have this Empress, and the Emperor and Empress energy and just the energy coming off of the cards today is a little bit peculiar for your reading here. Usually the Empress is that divine, feminine, so on and so forth. This gorgeous goddess energy, right? And I'm not really feeling it today. It actually feels like you see this person as a little bit full of themselves, a little bit too, I want to say like they indulge in luxury a little too much for your liking. You know what I mean? It's like the opposite of this one. So if this one here, it's like they feel they have to work hard to prove their worth. It's like this one is going to sit there and wait for people to give them things. You know what I mean? It's like somebody might come along and give them, the bananas, and I'm pretty sure that's a pomegranate. And it's like they'll sit there and be like, well, where's that big leaf in my grapes that someone's going to feed me? You know what I mean? It's like whatever is done for this person, they just assume more is coming. And it's not in a like, I'm being grateful for things and I'm attracting. It's in a selfish, self-centered, sort of way, and they seem to feel, and listen, there's nothing wrong with feeling like, you're a prize for somebody else. I feel like this person takes it to the nth degree, and it's like if they're not getting the I'm hearing, okay, this isn't coming from me. I mean, none of this is, but this isn't my opinion. I feel like this person seems to think that the world revolves around them, and everybody, it's like their presence alone is enough to warrant them getting what they want. It seems like there's somebody that they seem to feel that they have leveled up in some way that somehow puts them a cut above the rest. And it's almost like you see it as an insecurity, you see it for what it is. But I feel like their energy that's coming off is that they just think they're better than everybody. And it's like they're, in order to socialize with other people, it's like, well, they're just associating with the rest of us lowly peasants. And I feel like they might, if someone was to say that to this person, they might giggle about it. But I feel like later on they'd be like, oh, you know what, I actually do kind of feel that way. And they wouldn't see anything wrong with it. And that, honestly, it's kind of like, if I was a cartoon character, my jaw would have just hit the floor. It's such a strange, peculiar energy. I feel like you see this person as entitled, spoiled, and I feel to a certain extent that you kind of can't respect what they do. I feel like you seem to struggle with respecting somebody that feels it's okay to use people to get what they want because they think they're more important than everybody else. So those are the options that you have. I'm sorry that that's what they are. So for those of you with I just kind of, hold on for a second. Okay. We're just going to pull one on this Nine of Swords person. Okay, I guess we'll pull two. So we have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck here. And then we have the Tower and the Eight of Wands reversed. So, okay. This person may think that they're kind of God's gift to you. You know what I mean? It's like that's how full of themselves they are. But I feel like this other one, it's like they don't really want to come in and like crap all over your world. They don't want to come in and bring all of their stuff and their trauma. I feel like what this person just really needs is a friend. And it doesn't feel like it's going to be the kind of friend where it's like they want to dump their problems all over you. I actually feel like what they're going through is very personal and very private, and they keep a lot of that to themselves. I feel like you may feel a little bit of pressure around this person to somehow live up to or help them through, or it's like, or do something, but actually what they need is someone to talk to, that it's almost like that isn't related to their problems, that isn't going to ask them a million questions about how they feel and what they think and what they got to change. It's like they just need a friend that they can go out with, and depending on what you do to enjoy yourself, it's like to go to dinner with, to go to the movies, to take a walk along, downtown or something. I don't really know. But they're just looking for a friend. I feel like this person, even if you were to approach them romantically right now, I feel like they would be flattered, but also that they would be like, listen, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. So if you're concerned that what's really interesting actually is I feel like when it comes to either of these characters or either of these, I want to say like cards, but they are people, right? I actually feel like this one would be more emotionally draining than this one, because I feel like this person would just grind on your last nerve because they're so entitled. It's like, and because either they don't want to see it or they're refusing to see how much of an entitled brat they are. I feel like it would kind of drive you crazy that they would treat people poorly and then act like it was no big deal. act like, maybe they said something mean to somebody, but that person should be grateful that this one even lowered themselves to talk to them, right? And I feel like this person over here, excuse me, it's like they don't want to be a burden. They don't want to bring their stuff into this connection. I feel like they are attracted to you. There is that potential for the romantic connection. However, I feel like this person has zero intention of pursuing anything like that right now. They do want to keep you in their life. I feel like they actually are hurting way too much to explore anything romantic or even pursue it. And I know that those might sound like the same thing. For example, it's like sometimes people will pursue relationships and then they kind of get a little bit into the relationship and they're like, oh, you know what, I don't think I can do this. I feel like they wouldn't really even do that. I do feel that if this person was ever to talk to you about any of their trauma, I don't really feel that they would do it in a direct manner. It's like they would ask you a hypothetical question, and I feel like they're asking your opinion on a specific circumstance in their life, but they're asking it in such a general way that it's like you might not even really realize that that's what they're asking about. But it actually is because they really respect your opinion. You seem to be really insightful. So it's like when they kind of hit a roadblock with what they're doing, they might kind of lob this hypothetical question in there just to kind of get your take on it. And of course, that'll be up to you if that's, a question that you want to answer. So I'm just going to write the timestamp here. Okay. So for those of you with your Venus in Aquarius, next love interest for Venus in Aquarius. Oh, Libra got that, I think, for Libra Moon. So we have the Four of Swords with the Eight of Wands underneath it. So for those of you with your Venus in Aquarius, I feel like this is someone that unintentionally, they make you feel small. And it's not actually because they're trying to or they want to outshine you. I just feel like this person's so magical that sometimes they just kind of make you feel like they're living in color and you're living in black and white. That's the kind of like the juxtaposition between the two of you. I feel like you see this person as having certain types of skills that it's like you didn't even know that that was a skill that somebody could have. And I feel like part of you doesn't believe it at first, but as you kind of get to know this person, it's like you do start to see that like actually this person might have some sort of ability that maybe not everybody has. So for example, maybe this person, and obviously, I'm not trying, when I use this example, this isn't because I actually feel this way about psychics, okay? Obviously, I'm a tarot reader. I don't feel that way. However, let's say, for example, this person is psychic and you don't believe in psychics when you meet them. Number one, this person is highly unbothered by that. It doesn't feel like they're, going to sit there and talk to you about it. Like, they're not going to try to convince you otherwise. But I feel like it may not change your belief entirely, but it does feel like the experience with this person is going to, it would expand your mind to help you, like, that you would then see that actually someone having the ability to be psychic there could be some truth to it. Now, that's not to say that you feel that way about psychics or this person. It doesn't feel like, that would be necessarily the situation. It could be that this person is spiritual in a way that's unfamiliar to you, and or it's like maybe you've seen people try to do what they're doing before and they failed miserably, so it's like you're just kind of assuming that that would happen again because this person comes across as very unassuming. I feel like this is somebody that does not put on display what they have. I feel like this is someone that it's almost like they might have this kind of minimalist vibe. That may not be the actual situation, right? But it's like, this is the kind of person that if they answered the door and their hair was a mess, they wouldn't like immediately seek to fix it. They'd open it and be like, okay, what? And I feel like if you looked at their hair, they'd be like, yes, my hair is a mess. How can I help you? Because they seem to have, like, some people might expect them to have some insecurity or something of that nature because of the feminine energy that's coming off of them. They may not be or identify as a female, right? They have this energy of not passiveness, but just divine feminine energy. I don't know how else to put it. Because they have that energy, people underestimate them. And I feel like while you kind of leave the door open to understand them better, it does feel to a certain extent that this person is going to surprise you. It doesn't feel like it shakes the very core of what you believe, but it does seem to kind of help you tap into whatever the realm is that they're in. It's almost like you become a better version of yourself because you incorporate something that this person is doing that you really never would have done otherwise. So I hope that makes sense. I think I'll leave it there, Aquarius. So if this reading resonated, I hope that it was helpful. I hope it brought you some clarity. If you'd like a private reading with me, my email is below in the description box. And I do want to say, I really do love this channel, and I'm so grateful that you guys are resonating with the readings. So thank you for that. If you're new here, I upload on Sundays for mini weekly love reads, and then Thursdays for usually it's a longer read. And there is a bonus read coming out next week for Valentine's Day, so please keep an eye out for that if you are so inclined. And we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.